Chairman, I yield.
Very good. Chair now recognizes Mr. Gomez for 5 minutes. Garcia for 5 minutes. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So let's first zero in on the bottom line. What we have is two IRS investigators who clearly worked very hard on the Hunter Biden investigation, and thank you both for being here today. You both gave recommendations to prosecutors based on your work, which you've described today. And then Donald Trump's hand-picked prosecutor then made recommendations to charge Hunter. He acted independently, and he himself has confirmed this. You did your job making recommendations, and then the prosecutor did his job. You don't have to agree with his conclusions, but that's the bottom line of what we have today at this hearing. But today's hearing is like most of the majority's investigations and hearings. A lot of allegations, zero proof, no receipts, but apparently some dick pics. Now, at a certain point, the American people will need some actual evidence. Actual evidence. But we've seen absolutely none. So let's go back and review what's gone over the course of the last 7 months of this smear campaign against the White House. First, the committee is clearly obsessed with Hunter Biden, massively obsessed with him. Now, keep in mind, there's been no evidence of any wrongdoing or transactions of the person that's actually in government, Joe Biden. A lot about Hunter, not a lot about Joe Biden. And Hunter Biden, I want to remind the majority, is actually not the President of the United States. And I want to point out that no Biden family members hold government positions of any kind. Now, this is, of course, in stark contrast to the Trump crime family. The majority conveniently glazes over the Trump's family's foreign dealings. The Trump family, who, of course, were actually appointed to White House senior jobs, from Ivanka's Chinese trademarks to Jared's Qatari real estate bailout and $2 billion in Saudi private equity money. So where's that investigation? They were actually in the White House. And I think Chris Christie, one of the Republicans running for president, said it best, of course, in the former governor. This is his quote, not mine. "The grift from the family is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Kushner walk out of the White House and months later get $2 billion from the Saudis." Continue. You think it's because it's some kind of investigative genius or investing genius? Or is it because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years and doing favors for the Saudis? Now, these are quotes from a man who's known Trump and the Kushners for years. These people are in the White House every day, formally making policy, unlike Hunter Biden. Now, the Biden family attacks, of course, went nowhere. And so they tried, of course, to create a new storm, a new conspiracy theory with the so-called FBI Ukraine document, another fake scandal. This new fake scandal had a lot of hype, a lot of scary headlines from our chairman, from a lot of members of this committee, but a lot of us actually read the document, and when you read the document, it was pretty clear this was all hype. Just a wild accusation being passed along to the FBI with zero proof. And where did this accusation actually come from? Rudy Giuliani. Just another Rudy Giuliani tinfoil hat conspiracy theory that went nowhere. Giuliani recommended that Rudy Giuliani, by the way, whose law license is being recommended to actually be removed. Now, Rudy Giuliani's longtime associate, Lev Parnas, just said that he's prepared to testify under oath that there is no evidence that the president or his son Hunter interfered with Ukrainian politics, and there never has been. The Republican U.S. Attorney Scott Brady, handpicked by Donald Trump, determined it did not have sufficient evidence to further investigate Rudy's claims. But members of this committee, even today, repeat this narrative over and over again. More accusations, no proof, no receipts. So what's next in the switch hunt? This man, Gal Luft. The Republicans were so desperate just last week to find someone who could tell them what they wanted to hear that they promoted and collaborated with a Chinese spy trying to influence U.S. policy while selling weapons to Iran and Libya. So why is the so-called whistleblower missing? We don't know. Skipped his bail, being searched upon after being arrested. Now we're so desperate to cling to this narrative that they're defending this alleged crook. I want to know, we have questions. Was the chairman, was the committee staff in contact with Mr. Luft while he was a fugitive? Do we know where he is? What vetting does the majority do to make sure that there aren't targets of foreign influence on this committee? These are the real questions that we need answers to.
If you're willing to yield, I'll answer that question.
Sure, I just want my time.
I've never met Gal Luft in my life. All I know is he was getting money from the same company that the Bidens were getting money from, CEFC. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm looking forward to also if anyone from the committee or any committee members or committee staff had any contact with who is now obviously a Chinese spy, which you and the committee have been hyping up for weeks.
Well, is the president's son a Chinese spy? They took money from the son. The only difference
What
is the
does
president's
taking
son
money
took a
from the
hell of a
same
lot more money
company
than
mean?
Gal Luft did.
Sir, Mr. Chairman, you were the one hyping up a Chinese spy and arms dealer for weeks. This is just another
Who
example.
cares if they
of
had
bringing it
money
up.
from the same company?
So just to finish up my time, let me just say that it's clear to me that this majority will stop at nothing to try to impeach President Biden, the Attorney General, Secretary Mayorkas, and the list goes on and on. This is just another witch hunt that the majority continues to do week after week. The majority is trying to interfere in ongoing legal proceedings to cause chaos and to try to reelect Donald Trump, who obviously is pulling this extremist agenda. I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Sessions from Texas for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Gentlemen, welcome, and thank you very